Welcome back. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Olukoyede, has assured that there will be no hiding place for corrupt persons in the country. Now, he said this in a statement on Wednesday. The EFCC boss said this when the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission Chair, Musa Aliyu, paid Olukoyede a visit and said that given the political will of President Bola Tinubu to tackle economic and financial crimes and other acts of corruption, there will be no immunity for corrupt persons. According to him, Mr. Tinubu is offering the right atmosphere for anti-graft activities, both for the EFCC and ICPC, and no Nigerian is immune to investigations. He added, "We must give our best, we must be committed and give the president the right support he needs. Nobody is too big to be investigated in this country. Once you're not playing according to the rules, we will investigate you." Okay, we still have Mr. Nick Agule virtually. Now, a bold statement made by the chairman. I mean, he's coming all out to say nobody is too big to be investigated. Do you agree to that?
Yes, agree to that.
Why so?
A country that does well is the country where the rule of law is held supreme. And the rule of law means everybody, from the president of the country to the lowest man on the street, is brought equally before the law. Until you have such a country, you are not going to do well. I challenge people. I say, show me any country in the world where the rule of law is not being held supreme and there is development. So there's a clear nexus, there's a clear correlation between development and the rule of law. And so a country like Nigeria, to hear the heads of our anti-corruption agencies make such statements is heartwarming, but it mustn't stop with making statements. We have been hearing about statements in the past. Our security agencies, like the service chiefs, they keep making press conferences and giving us assurance that terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and all sorts of other crimes will be fought with everything in their systems. But over and over again, hundreds of Nigerians are murdered, and then those who commit the crimes go away free. In the same way, anti-corruption agencies make statements to us that we will fight corruption, we'll do this thing, do all this type of things, and yet corruption is still prevalent in our country. So for us, as Nigerians, we don't just want to hear statements. We want to see action. We want to see positive action. We as they say, action speaks louder than words. For us, we want those who have been handling responsibilities at various levels for the various sectors in Nigeria to just get down to work and let their works speak for them.
All right, thank you so much. I'm going to ask Dr. Ganiu. Now I'm going to repeat what Mr. Olukoyede said. He said, given the political will of President Bola Tinubu to tackle economic and financial crimes and other acts of corruption, there will be no immunity for corrupt persons. How true is that?
You see, because of the peculiarity of our country, right? But let's see what is on going to take, right? We've heard just like, President Tinubu says. He says any minister does not perform, they will be sacked. So he has started showing political will, right? So he also has made a statement. And do not forget, people will keep track of your statements. And they will follow you back to back with your statement. People have kept the record. Oh, you are there now, you've made a statement. And you already made a statement that immunity will be thrown to the bin, right? So we will start watching him now. he has made the statement. Let's see if he also have the political will to be able to carry it hook and sinker with what he has said. So because with that now, it's also going to project the institute of EFCC, because that's what they are made for. You know, we talk about the issue out of Balogun was dealt with then. That was what brought new Ribadu to board, right? So if he also could deal with it effectively and saying that, oh, nobody is above the law. As we speak now, we still assume that there are some specific people in this country, don't go there is their name. You can't touch them. So if you can come and say that, well, irrespective of who you are, whatsoever cabal you belong to, once it comes to EFCC, we are going to treat you and we are going to tackle you. So we look at him and we fold our hands and see if he's going to live up to his word. Then we are now going to give him a thumb up that, as he has said, then we are seeing it there.
All right then. Chasson. Now, I'm going to take the word, I'm going to put quotation marks on the word play by the rules.
I'm sure you saw me laughing.
Yes. That, for me, was like a clause. One should be, one should look at critically if you don't play by the rules.
Moses, you see, each time I listen to quotations by head of parastatals and agencies like this, I laughed. The last two chairmen of this commission gave out fantastic words. As if, in fact, when the former president was there, they said even the body language.
He was a man of integrity.
Don't talk. Even his body, when he shakes you, everybody. And we saw a lot of activities that was perpetrated under that administration. If you ask me, the words from the EFCC chairman is just a normal word. I would have expected to see action and say, this man did not even say this. Because, like my friend said, analysts, Shola will come and quote him years back if he failed. But if you have not even made this huge commitment to say somebody, because when you get to a particular place, you will know that your words, you will swallow it up in this country where we are. Because I've not seen an individual in place of authority in this country that when you meet the Waterloo, you request for your resignation. Majority always compromise the standard. And that's my problem. That we are. There are people that are sacred. You can't touch them. A lot of people are having serious allegation of misappropriation of funds in government agency. And today they are high up there leading us. What is the message that you are passing? So for me, the word is sweet, it's very okay. But if you have moved in the midst of those people, there are two options he has, of which I will be. I'm not following his words. Either to see him in no distance time, tendering his resignation letter. The EFCC chairman. Why do I say this? He will meet the Waterloo. This cabal we are talking about are not people, you can give those statements. There are a lot of them that, see, some of this misappropriation we're talking about that some of the junior guys are carrying out at the backing of the high and mighty. And when they carry it out, at times they just use the small one to be the sacrificial lamb. And the one that actually perpetrates the ill will be there. Do you think some of these things have actually been carried out by one person? The answer is no. Most of the time we'll punish the loyal people and leave those that are actually perpetrating the main thing. So for me, it's a normal statement. We've heard it during Ribadu, during how many of the people that have actually misappropriated our funds are actually behind the bar. Mention one that you know of. I can't remember. There was a time I remember when they said they picked up Oji Kalu. He contested it at the court, he won, and he went to the Senate. A lot of other people are actually there. So for me, it's a normal statement, of which I would say I was not expecting that from the FCC chairman, knowing the antecedent of others. If care is not taken, most of the time we don't watch our backs ourselves. We give the statement, and the people are just watching and saying, he has come to do those things. Because do you know the level at which corruption has pervaded our system? They planted people to even monitor him, look for his weaknesses, and said that this is the route he's trying to go, and they will eat him. These are things that are happening. When they see people coming out to do the right thing, and you don't have that strong backing that can make it to. I'm still waiting if the president will be able to say, because before you know it, they will always say, my friend will always tell you, they have everybody CD. When they want to play your CD for you, you will be the one to say, well, and you see them off the mic. So these are instances that we have seen in time past. Let's see if he's going to make the difference, like he has said. But I believe the country where we are today, there are people that are untouchable. And it's just a mere phone call. Look at the local area. You will see a commercial bus driver telling you that I will follow 1 week. If you stand there, I will call someone that will put you to check. That's where it starts from. What audacity will somebody have to go against the law and be boasting? I listened to a video that went viral of a criminal threatening a law enforcement agency, telling you that you are doing this, so I will go to jail. It's just 1 year. I will come back. What audacity does that person have? These are disheartening things that are happening. And there are a lot of threats to our security agency because some people, if that guy do not have strong backing, he will not have the effrontery. While we are growing up, you dare not speak to a law enforcement agency anyhow because you know you'll be rotting in jail. So the guy had the able to say, it's just a matter of maximum 1 year. I will be there. These are things that people like us will say, as that guy is actually affirming that he's a criminal, he needs not to be taken to court. Take him and hang him and finish him. You have reduced one out of the criminals that we are having in the system. But I know my lawyer friend will tell you that that is not the route to go. This is democracy. But this democracy, is it actually working in our favor, or is actually impacting on the growth of a nation called Nigeria?
All right then. Let me come back to you, Nick. Now we know that in times past, Nigerians have knocked the EFCC for continually parading internet fraudsters, and the EFCC has never, actually paraded a political appointee or a political office holder, having the board and everything say, look, this is the offense I committed and I'm a criminal. I mean, yeah, they are. Yeah. They've never had to do that. So what do you think Olukoyede should start from now to make Nigerians trust his words that no matter who you are, as long as you are not playing by the rules, and the rules here being obeying the laws of the land, not pandering to one person's will. As long as you're not playing by the rules, you will be held accountable. Where do you think he should start from?
Well, I believe that his job has been cut out for him. Like one of my co-panelists said, even as we speak today, there are people occupying very senior positions in government that have cases with the EFCC. So the EFCC boss will need to show by action that he's ready to fight economic crimes in Nigeria by taking on these powers, by pushing these cases through the courts and obtaining conviction. It will be nice to see that a high-ranking sitting official in government has been convicted and then removed from his office and dumped into jail. Those are the kind of actions that we are going to see. But again, I want to advise the EFCC chairman that let him not be oblivious of the fact that all of his predecessors ended up being accused of corruption and being removed from office with allegations of corruption levied against his head. So he has to start with himself. He has to be above board, and once he's above board, the staff that he is working with will tow after his leadership style and be above board. And if the EFCC itself rights itself of corruption and totally remove the bad eggs that is giving them a bad name within their ranks, that will be the starting point. And that is when Nigerians will begin to understand that the EFCC, this particular EFCC, is different from the ones that we have had in the past.
All right, thank you. Dr. Ganiyu now. The EFCC chairman made mention, he slightly mentioned the fact that they are understaffed. Now I'm going to read what he said. He said that even with the 5 anti-corruption agencies in Nigeria, they can hardly do more of what they are supposed to do. That in the US, they have about 35,000 naira strength of staff. But even combination of ICPC and EFCC is about just 3 or 7,000 in number. Should we say that maybe that's the reason why it's, in quotes, that EFCC do not really do what they are supposed to do as an anti-graft agent? They do not do as much as they should do, possibly chasing shadows, just like Moses said, leaving people who you should chase and chasing maybe the younger people who are, of course, said to be fraudsters, online fraudsters and all.
Okay, I will make two quotes. A brilliant person says that life is not about duration, it's about donation. All right? And there's a saying in my dialect, is saying that it's not how much the teeth in the mouth is. The only thing you just have to need are some teeth that are stronger to grind some meat. Okay? So it's not about the volume of the people. The question is that even with the few people they have, which result do they have? What have they done? You know, in a corporate world, even for you to request for additional staff, you must be able to show that these are the things we've done with our capacity and we've gotten some result on board. For us to do more, we need additional people. All right? But when you look at the things we have now, what are their testament? After, I can say that one of the people that makes so much around about their effectiveness on this seat is Nuru Ribadu, right? After, in the subsequent people we have, they are just there to enrich themselves. And you see this kind of position, apparently it's a position that you must stay clear. There must not be conflict of interest. In my field, there's what we call conflict of interest. You must not be there to enrich yourself. At that point in time, you must stay clear. Because there's a saying that it that must go to equity, must go to a cleanliness. Look at what happened to the former board, Abdul Rashid Bawa. When he's trying to investigate the guy in Nasarawa, and the guy said that, well, I offered you so much. And because you requested for so much, because I wasn't ready to bend, that was the reason why you are. So in us, you could say that it's not that you really want to investigate me, but because I didn't meet up to your demand. And what happened to EFCC the other time is that you see 2 stars of EFCC, one killed each other because they want to take into custody which means that, in other words, if I don't have any interest in it, why would we be fighting and so on? So you could see that for us to be able to ensure that this works very well, they must show that they are actually there to do the business of the government and the business of governance. So if anything, after everything that EFCC have recovered, how many can they account for? This brings us to accountability. We just say we recover XYZ, we recover. Okay, give us how did we use it? How did we spend the money? The property you recover, where are they? Who is taking? There was a time you said a property was secure and someone else bought the property and was using it. So these are things that are not straight line. And the language that playing to the rule also send a lot of signal, which means that if you are not our guy, we are going to expose you. Like one says that until you come to a political party, then all your sins are forgotten. So which means that until you play to the rule, we will actually show you the way out. Right? And now also we keep saying there's no need of duplicating this institute. It's like a waste of resources. ICPC, EFCC, their job are related. Why not collapse them together? Make them one. Let them be formidable. And let's see how they are going to run. You have ICPC, you have EFCC, and they are going. And there was a time there are conflicts. So we must be able to stay clear, match these parastatals together. Once we match them together, we will safeguard Nigeria resources and we could be able to channel the resources to somewhere. Even if you match them together, you can even use it to. And also, I will say this, if you are EFCC staff, give them KPI. Let's see what you are doing. Like an organization, we say that you are working from home. We must be able to see what you are doing to justify the reason why you should be paid so much.
All right, then. Now, let me segue a bit. The president has been, lauded for the things he's doing in fighting corruption. But, even the president himself has a lot of allegations or insinuations of corruption hanging around him. Even the occupation of the presidency is still in question by him. I mean, the occupation of the presidency by him is still in question by, a lot of people. If he wants to fight corruption and to be seen as effectively fighting corruption, don't you think he should start from himself? Remember, in 2020, a company that he was alleged to be an owner of or had shares in, be it by proxy, Alpha Beta, was accused of being used to perpetrate massive corruption by the former MD, Mr. Apara.
Moses.
Should he probe himself?
Our
Our
constitution is an area that we must first consider. Don't forget that once we elect you, you have immunity.
But then the EFCC chairman said no immunity.
I'm sure he didn't read the law through. He will not try to say he wants to question those that are actually in authority today, because it's embedded in the constitution that you have immunity. But what I keep saying is that the current administration, if you are able to nip it at the bud and punish those that are found to be misappropriating funds, you will excuse the office. And other people will come and will put a searchlight underneath you to expose certain things that you have done. And what that will be doing is that years to come, people will now know that somebody started this on his exit from office, like the Asians will do. They will visit your own allegation, and if you are found culpable, even after serving us, you'll be serving the rest of your life, even in jail. Then people will now come and know that it's no longer business as usual. So immunity, no problem. That's what our constitution says. But those that are found culpable today, they should not be found at the corridor of power. What we've been saying, I told somebody jokingly, I said all of you are making issues here. There's any affair, EFCC have brought those things. In the next few years, the woman will come back to this country and contest for the position of a governor in his state, and she will win. Nothing will happen. Is it not about money? Those are the value proposition that we've lost. People will they will take money just around you, and all you can think of is to take your eyes off some of the things that they have done and be concentrating with the money that they are given. We must go back to the drawing board. Our value proposition, and it starts from the family. Quite disheartening that these days you see mothers encouraging people to go into internet fraudsters, asking them to go and learn. Those days they were asking you to go and learn trade. They are now asking you to go and learn internet fraudster. That's the values system that we are building, because all we want to know is that, Moses, you are hardworking, you come early to work, you make your money. They say, no, that's not a good way to make money. Let's go the short way. Those shortcuts must be discouraged. And we must have the value proposition to know that when you do things that are not right, you are punished. And that will serve on its own as deterrent. The insecurity we are faced today started small. But when it became a business venture, that's when people start venturing into it, making money. Those days, people are organizing kidnapping themselves. I've seen instances where they say, some men will say, just kidnap me. I know my members. They have money. Call this one, call this one. It's that bad. We must go back, retrace our value system in such a way that we discourage some of the things we are saying now. And with the right value system, the country can be better off for it.
Thank you very much. Now, quickly, Nick, let me take your concluding thoughts now in 60 seconds, please.
So my concluding thoughts is that Nigeria's biggest problem is corruption. And corruption both in the public sector and in the private sector. And we can only fight corruption with action and not by words of mouth. So the EFCC chairman must back up his words with action. Without action, his words remain just mere words.
All right, thank you very much, Nick. That was really concise and precise. Olusola?
I think my thinking is just like there's no place there's no corruption globally, in the global space. Even in US, there are big time corruption. But the thing is that they have system that can track them.
Okay.
So what I will advise, not just us making a mouth, let's put systemic in place. Not a systemic that we want to use it to enrich ourselves. So a systemic that will be able to track things, that even you that you are there, that system will throw you out. When it's just like in the bank. When you want to authorize something above your limit, the system will throw you out. That is beyond your limit. Go to your supervisor. So the system must be in place to be able to checkmate a lot of things. And in the long run, when there are gaps, the system is going to throw it out.
Well, my final thought would be, for you to build a system, there must be a foundation, and that's the value. What value do you have? It is when we have the right value proposition, we can have a good system, and we'll build an institution, and Nigeria will be great.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We've been speaking with Sheson Olukoyede, who is a Policy and Public Affairs Analyst, Ganiu Oluwashola, Managing Partner, KJB Professional Services, and Nika Gule, Chartered Accountant and Public Affairs Commentator as well. We must say a very big thank you to you, gentlemen, for staying with us on the program.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into business, and that will be followed by entertainment and sports. Stay with us.